life can be wonderful if you're not afraid of it. All it needs is courage, imagination. What is there to fight for? Everything! Life itself isn't that enough? What is there to fight for? Life is a beautiful, magnificent thing.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Quandary Quest. It's been far too long, and my apologies for that. I'm sure everybody can agree when I say that time flies far too quickly. I mean, I don't know what age it started, but at some point it was like somebody pressed the fast forward button on life, and just by the time you get home from work, it's time to go to bed, and it's just so crazy, and then it's rinse and repeat the next day. It's just absolute madness. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to, if you can hear that squeaking, that's my chair, and there's probably a dog growling in the background because they're moody, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to piece in some break time thoughts into this episode. Maybe possibly, if it's not too long. What I want to do is, I want to be as real as possible with you guys. And I'm not a liar, and I give it to you straight. I don't want to spread hate or anything like that. That's not what I'm here to do. I just want to open up people's minds and get people to start questioning things and find the curiosity in life again, because it's all such a mystery and it's so fascinating. Alright, I just had to pause it because I had to stop dog growling. Anyway, my aim is, I don't have much time. I'm recording this in between having to go pick somebody up, and it's crazy. But I wanted to record this really quickly, and I'll probably piece in some other pieces. Hopefully I can record a little bit longer later tonight. But I wanted to give everybody kind of an update as to what was going on, and, why I haven't posted in a while. I've been thinking about it, and I think I overthought it, honestly. I want to talk about so many things, and I'm like, where do I start? Where do I go from here? And I want to do more. It's February already. We're halfway through it. Over halfway through it. It's just nuts. So nuts. And I'm not trying to have any excuses or anything like that. Like I said, I'm just trying to be honest. And I've wanted to, but I'm just so all over the place that other things came first, and I hurt my back at work, and it's just when things go wrong, it's like everything goes wrong for a minute at least, right? For some reason, that's always the way it works. Our brakes fell off of our car a few days, or maybe a day after I hurt my back at work, so I had to miss some work, and I was laid up on the couch for a while. It's just that darn chair. It's just, that's just life. And so my apologies, truly. I have been wanting to get back to, talk to no one. I guess I'm just talking to myself right now, but that's okay. That's okay. This will be just a running... The dog's sitting with me. Come on. This will just be like a running commentary, and hopefully it just allows people to maybe think about things they never thought about before. And like I said, just find find that curiosity again. This chair. Anyway, find the curiosity, the childlike wonder of just the universe and the multiverse, I guess, and know that it's so much bigger than we can even comprehend. Our brains can't even fathom what existence is, and it's just a miracle. It's wonderful. And I love talking about it, and I love asking questions, all the questions. There's no questions that are off limits to me. When you start saying, no, you can't ask that question, I ask, why not? Yeah, my first question is, why am I not allowed to talk about that? And if this is not in any way meant to be mean, but like I said, keeping it true, okay? If you and your beliefs are so insulted by a question that you get offended by it just by me asking a question, then all you gotta do is just change the station, change the podcast, the channel, whatever. Change it. Switch over. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you can't say that you're offending somebody just because you're asking questions. You know, who, like, I don't know, people like Galileo, they got persecuted for their different beliefs. And everybody at one point has been persecuted for their beliefs. And I think that's ridiculous. And questions are never off limits. And so that's what I think about that. We're just going to ask questions. That's why I called this Quandary Quest, because we are searching for the questions that we'll never have the answers to, and we've got to be okay with that. We've got to learn to know that that's all right, and it just adds more mystery. Anybody like a good mystery? Those are some of the best. So just keep an open mind. Once you start closing doors, the room becomes really small, you know? Once you start just shutting everything out, why would you want to do that? Why would you not want to experience all you can of life, to know all you can of life? Isn't that the purpose? So, once again, everybody's entitled to their own thing. Everyone is entitled to think whatever they want to think. As insane as some of it might seem. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, I wanted to keep it completely honest with you guys, and, I want to bring as much fact and truth as I can, but it's really hard sometimes to find complete truths, because you never know who wrote that truth and what their biases are and what they believe in that colors the thing that they write. You just never truly know. And especially if it's over the computer, you can't even see their face, so it could be just any old person. Wikipedia can be edited, or at least it used to be able to. I think it still is, but anyway, it could be edited by anybody. You can add whatever. Tosh.0 had to have his shut down because people started writing crazy, obscene stuff. It was hilarious. I keep trying to pause this as the cars are going by so you don't hear too much revving, but it's that time of day that everybody's getting home from work, and, I don't live in a soundproof box, so there's some noises. But that's how it goes, I guess. I was going to say something else. What was it? Oh, and I really, really want to do my best to not edit the audio so much, because when I have to, it takes so long. It takes so long to edit everything. I love making the videos. But it really does take a long time. So for a while now, at least, I'm going to more so focus on just audio. And maybe a picture or something will be up. And that's probably going to be it for a while. Just because time is short and audio is all I can manage right now with, family and a job and this, that, and the other. It's just, it's life, and I'm sure everybody else has that too. So, audio for now, hopefully more videos in the future, or, they'll just be intermittent, whatever. They'll just be here and there. Sometimes, like whenever I get a wild hair up my ass, I'll just make a video, or just some extra time that I might happen to have to devote to editing it and piecing it all together and stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do. But I am hoping to have some conversations with my mother in the future. I know that sounds just so boring or something, doesn't it? Ugh, your mother. But, she's awesome, and she kind of had an awakening, maybe, let's see, well, it was about 5 years ago now-ish. Well, no, maybe even shorter than that. Yeah, about 5 years ago. And, when that happens to an older person, it's just like, wow. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, that's not true at all, honestly. And I'm the type of person to believe just about anything is possible. If you want it and you believe it and you give it your all, you work hard, or if you just simply believe it 1,000 million cajillion %, then I believe that it's possible. I do. And, I just think that we shortchange ourselves, really. I think that's a problem with society and religion, especially. Sorry. They put you in a box and they make you feel smaller than you really are, because humans are so powerful. They're capable of so many things. The only thing is that you really have to believe in it. Really believe in it. As people believe in God. And that's not to say that there is no God. I just don't do organized religion. That's all. Organized religion is, to me, it's just not my thing. I tried it. I went there when I was little, and, there's plenty of questions I have that it doesn't make sense. It's sprinkled with truths. They're all similar in their own way. They all share some basic principles, but all of the in-between stories and stuff, and I don't know. They want to say certain things that happened however long ago, oh, that's a myth. Atlantis, for example. They want to say, oh, that's a myth or an allegory. But Jesus walked on water. Okay. Not to say that I don't believe he didn't. I think that Jesus was like a Buddha. He was like an enlightened being or something. He was different. And he specifically said that he spoke in parables. Probably because they, were going to kill him if he didn't. And, I don't know, maybe it's the cryptic mystery of the stuff that he said that makes us cling to it even more these days, These days, I see, it's so crazy, because I thought it was, I'm sorry for going off on this tangent. I think it's crazy that I'm pretty sure somewhere in the Bible it says something about not worshiping false idols, or idolizing, something like that. And yet, that's what people were doing to Jesus. And he even said himself to basically, like, he wasn't God, but people worship him as God. And then, other people worship his mother, the Divine Mother, or whatever. It's just, there's too many holes in the story, and too many things that we're not allowed to talk about. Not about, religion. You're not allowed to ask questions. Like, what does the Vatican have in their secret archives? What's down there? Why would they even have secret archives that you have to make an appointment? You have to be a scholar. First of all, you have to be like some type of scholar, and you have to make an appointment to go there. And even when you go there, you can only go there for maybe an hour, and you have to already know what it is that you're looking for. That's it. You have to know. You can't just peruse the library. No, you have to know, and then you ask one of the, cardinals. That's probably a lowly, maybe it is a cardinal. I don't know. You ask one of them, they go and get it for you and bring it to you, and then you have like an hour or two or something to look over it. And if you find that that's not what you were looking for, sucks for you. Come back tomorrow. And I think maybe you can only do that for like 2 days, 3 days. I could have the numbers wrong, but it's insanely like locked down, and it makes you ask questions. I don't believe in forbidden knowledge. I mean, there is forbidden knowledge, obviously, but it's not because we chose it to be that way. It's because some people higher up on the chain than us decided that us little people down here don't deserve to know these things. The things that they themselves use. The things that they believe in that they just don't want us to know about. The things that they are up to that they don't want us to know about. So it's just like, I don't do that. I don't do, you can't, blah, 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 blah. You're not supposed to, you're not going to, all these things. Watch me. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. I don't believe that anything should be secret. And even in the Bible somewhere, doesn't it say, like, what is in the dark shall be brought to the light, or something along those lines. Everything hidden will, be manifest, or, made unhidden. It'll be brought to the light. So, I'm not about hiding stuff. I love digging, and I love finding things, and diagrams, and maps, and old photos, and all of it. I find that, honestly, having too many interests is kind of a hindrance, I mean. But, anyway, this wasn't as short as I thought it would be. I just kind of rambled. But yeah, when it comes to anything's open. I want to talk with people, and I hope that, people join my Discord server. It's Quandary Quest Discord server, and I have Instagram. I did have TikTok, but I deleted it. I'm thinking about adding it again. I don't know. I don't have enough room on my phone, but maybe we can do it on the computer. Too many pictures. But anyway, that's all for now. This was just like a little update, and I'll see if I can get back to it. And thank you all for listening. I really hope that some people will come forward and want to chit chat. I would love to talk with people. Absolutely love to have conversations with people who also have a never-ending, undying, unquenchable curiosity, and just want to dive into all of it. Nothing's off limits. And so that is all for now, I believe. Don't forget to give yourself a hug today, because they say it's good for you. You gotta love yourself too. even though it can be really hard to do. So, give yourself a hug, and remember, life's not so bad. Everything just has its time, and everything will get better. So, this was once again an update where we ask the questions that we'll never have the answers to. And embrace the quest. Bye, guys.
Archive 108, March 14th, 1923, Vatican Apostolic Archive. Recording. Access requires credentials. A formal petition. Institutional affiliation. You submit a written request listing exact catalogue numbers, dates, names. You do not browse. You're approved for a limited session. A few hours. No more. Inside, beneath Vatican City, there are nearly 50 miles of shelving. Climate controlled. Ordered. Numbered. Preserved. You sit at a designated wooden desk. An archivist retrieves your file, one box at a time. You are supervised. When your time ends, the documents are removed and returned to storage. If you requested the wrong material, you leave. You apply again. You wait. Within those shelves are papal correspondences spanning centuries, letters between popes and monarchs, diplomatic negotiations written in precise Latin, financial ledgers tracking the movement of kingdoms, trial records, including proceedings against Galileo Galilei, illuminated medieval codices edged in gold leaf, petitions for annulment, Inquisition transcripts, missionary reports describing continents newly encountered. Officially, that is what is held there. Unofficially, there are rumors, lost gospels not included in canon, private letters discussing suppressed theological debates, documents detailing political interventions never publicly acknowledged. And then there are stranger claims, accounts of a device referred to as the chronovisor, allegedly developed by Father Pellegrino Ernetti in the 20th century. A machine said to observe past events, not record them symbolically, but view them. There is no verified evidence that such a device exists, no catalogue number, no public documentation within the archive, and yet the story persists, that somewhere in those 50 miles there are files that reference it, or refute it, or quietly deny it. The archivists dedicate their lives to preservation, protocol, silence. They retrieve what is requested, not what is imagined. You sit at a table. Behind you stretch miles you will never see. Somewhere in that order are questions no one has formally submitted, or questions that were submitted and quietly returned.
The trouble is you won't fight. You've given in, continually dwelling on sickness and death. There's something just as inevitable as death, and that's life. Life, life, life. Think of the power that's in the universe, moving the earth, growing the trees, and that's the same power within you.